Welcome back. Episode 17 of Rumors from the Corner. Today is Tuesday, September 10th. Glad to have you back. Jimbo, how you doing, pal? Always good to see you. Been waiting for this.
Clay, I've had better days. Sun is shining outside, however, so Jimbo's still got a smile on his face, but man, buddy, I took a gut punch this weekend. Good Lord, I mean, I couldn't. Friday the Rocks go down. Saturday the Cats go down. Sunday the Bengals go down. I mean, just in terrible fashion. Not only that, but I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues. I lose all 3 of those. I'm in a Survivor League. I only have 1 pick. I use the Bengals.
Oh, no.
I'm out of that. The only good thing that came out of the week was my daughter's Marion volleyball team won again. Shout out to the Marion Knights. Off to a great start, 11-1. But my goodness. I mean, a lot of things happened over the weekend, and unfortunately, none of it was good for me.
We got a whole lot to talk about, so let's jump right in.
Oh, God.
Starting Friday with high school action. Trinity lost to Center Grove, team from Indianapolis.
You know, the shocker, man. I talked to some of the guys close to the program over there at Trinity. They felt pretty confident about the game. You know, I mean, they knew what Center Grove had, and you know, that team played really well. That quarterback, that was the best game. The coaches had told me that was the best game that he had played in his life. I mean, but you know what? Big time players come out at big time moments, man, and man, they really stepped it up.
24-10 was the final. Center Grove wide receiver Drake McClung, he broke the receiving record. He had over 220 yards for Center Grove.
What record did he? Like, he broke Center Grove's record?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he and he's only a sophomore, okay? But he's actually committed to play baseball at IU. So this is a kid. I got a feeling he's going to be getting recruited in football.
We might want to write his name. Yeah, put his name.
He caught one ball like kind of on the sideline and cut it up the middle, and he literally went through Trinity's whole team. I don't know if you watched it. I watched it. It was very impressive.
I was watching it. All right.
So yeah, Trinity's back at it this week at Carmel. So
it's not going to get any easier.
No, it's not.
Really, I mean, from what I'm hearing, Carmel and Center Grove are kind of 2 mirror images of each other this year. I mean, it's going to be a tough task. I know we're going to get a little bit better play out of the quarterback position there. I don't know if our man Zane's going through a sophomore slump this year, but you know, hopefully he can get it dialed in. We're going to need it definitely this week, but I look for the Rocks to bounce back.
All right, St. X lost a tough one at Mail, 35-28 in overtime. I don't know if you saw any of that game. I watched it. You know, St. X, they were up 14 points in the fourth quarter. You got to win that game. Shout out to Mail, though. They had about a 50, 60-yard pass with about a minute to go. It was a hell of a pass, hell of a catch. Props to them. St. X is off this week. They have a bye. But takeaways from that game, I think both teams are going to be pretty good, and they're going to be there at the end. Mail's better than I thought they were. How did the quarterback look? From Mail, because that's the question. He looked good. They kind of spread him around a little bit. But you know, Spike Soul, the kid going to NC State, big offensive lineman, he was on the line, the defensive line. And they went right. They ran a lot to his side, and
he's causing a lot of havoc.
Yeah, he's the best lineman in the city.
Okay.
But St. X played well. Trimble, the quarterback, had 5 touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 rushing.
Hey, go.
Lucas Shelton, junior receiver, had 3 catches for 115. Kyle Krupp had 2 touchdowns. So we'll see. I got a feeling they're going to be playing again, maybe later on in the playoffs, possibly.
You would think so.
Mail's got a bye this week. So probably the biggest game in the city could be Eastern at Manual. Eastern's really nothing to write home about. Manual just beat Frederick Douglass
What about
in overtime.
that? What about that?
I would never
shout
thought
out
that.
to Manual.
Yeah, they must be playing some ball.
My goodness. I mean, they always got athletes over there with a new coach this year coming over from Seneca. I mean, he's got to play some football. That's a big win, man.
Huge.
I mean,
and we'll see.
We
if
weren't even
Manual's
hardly
for real.
talking about Manual at the beginning of the. You know what I'm saying?
I think Manual plays Trinity and St. X. I think.
I don't. Think
Maybe not
I don't think we
Trinity,
have
but
Trinity.
I know.
don't think they
But
play
Mail plays Trinity. So
Yeah.
quick shout out while we're talking high school ball. Let's talk about Boyle County,
Oh my
the
goodness.
4A state champs. They won 4 in a row. They go up to St. Edwards and beat Lakewood St. Edwards 38-21, and they're 12th in the country.
Yes.
Here's a 4A school from Kentucky.
Oh, I think it's awesome, man. I mean, I think it's awesome. They went up there. I'm thinking, even shout out to Kentucky Lions. I mean, they had Boyle, as almost a 10-point underdog going up there. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, St. Edward is a powerhouse. Here comes little Boyle County. I heard people up there in Ohio were going, where the hell did this team come from?
I think Tony Driver's nephews are on that
Is
team.
that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a sophomore driver.
Quisenberry. There's a Quisenberry, and he's the real deal. He had an interception return. He had a couple touchdowns. Boyle County is going to be on St. X's schedule, I think, starting next year.
Good. Well,
they have
good.
like a 2-year agreement.
Well,
to
that
play.
needs to happen. It's fun to see, watch. Why not play some of these other schools, power schools, maybe in a lower conference, in a lower
Sure.
class than, somebody in your same class at, a lower tier school. But, man, shout out to them. Yeah, I heard that the driver kid, the sophomore tight end, is going to be a stud. So, yeah, because when I heard driver, I was thinking, man, that's, how many drivers out
Right.
there, man, and Tony he was a
He
good
could
ball
play.
player, yeah.
He could play. Quick shout out, thanks to Coach Cobb and Coach Wallace for coming to St. Raphael's Men's Club. They came up to church last night and spoke with us about their teams. Kind of tough, both of them coming off a loss, but appreciate them coming up and letting us know about their team. Last but not least, I got a guy that UK's already on him. U of L needs to start showing some love, but sophomore Cade Gooden from Collins, the quarterback. I don't know if he's going to play quarterback in college, but this kid's a player, D1 player. I know Vandy's looking at him. He's visited a couple schools. Keep your eye on this kid because he's a player, and he's going to do a lot of big things.
What position is he playing at Collins right now?
He's playing quarterback.
Okay.
He had 5 touchdowns last week against
How many
Dunbar.
throwing? 'Cause he's a dual threat, correct?
Yeah, I think he had a couple. I think he had 3 passing, 2 rushing.
He played both ways?
No.
He just plays
Oh,
quarterback?
he might play a little.
I mean,
both
obviously
ways.
he could if he wanted to. But
Right.
he's too valuable.
Shout out to Cade, though.
That's awesome. Good job, Cade.
All right, let's turn our attention to NCAA football. Where should I start? Should we talk about the top-ranked team in the state?
Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the number 19 Louisville Cardinals. Beat Jacksonville State last week 49-14. Everybody got to play. Offense was pretty vanilla. I went to the game. Great tailgating. It was beautiful outside. They took care of business. Everybody played. Everybody got some reps. Maybe wanted to do that in the third quarter, but he kept them in a little bit longer than I thought he would. But
Since you were at the game, did you stay for the whole game?
I left middle of the fourth quarter.
Okay. What? Give me a takeaway. Give me something that you. Give me a player or somebody on that team. Either the defense or the offense, something that you didn't expect that you come out of the game and you went.
Well,
Damn.
they did expect that. They did exactly what I expect them to do. I wish I could put, like, oh, this guy's great and this guy, but he spread the ball around to everybody. Brom's smart. He's not going to let anybody see who his weapons are and who they aren't. A lot of people caught balls. The tight ends got a little bit more involved. Redmond and Johnson, those guys are studs. The tight ends are a huge part of Brom's offense. So they look good. Running backs, 5 deep, look good.
Everything's just happy-go-lucky in Cardinal land, ain't it? Just like a well-oiled machine, ain't it? It's awesome.
It is.
It's awesome.
Louisville's got to buy this
Couldn't
week.
be more happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Couldn't be more happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, they need a bye after those 2 big juggernauts they played. They'll probably beat up pretty bad.
Well, let's talk about the juggernaut of University of Kentucky. UK lost 31-6 to South Carolina. They were I think 10-point favorite. I'll let you talk and then I'll say what I have to say. What did you think going into the game before the game started? I know you're excited.
Well, I told y'all last week. I felt confident we were going to beat South Carolina. I didn't think
I did too.
And I told you I didn't think that we would win by a whole lot. I thought that we were giving South Carolina not enough credit, just for winning that game against Old Dominion. But it was. I was literally in the stands with Bro Dog. We were looking at each other. We're almost sick just because we couldn't get to a flow of the offense. The offensive line was terrible. There was one time we triple teamed a guy and still couldn't stop him. Yes, I did say that, triple teamed a guy, still couldn't stop him. We looked very unprepared. It's sickening, man. It really sickening because to think that this was supposed to be the year, Mark Stoops had, this is the most talented team. Everything was kind of quiet in the spring, just kind of a confident silence. You know what I'm saying?
All UK fans are very confident about this team.
And I don't know, Clay, I really don't know if it was, obviously you're not overlooking your first SEC opponent. But it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, though, because everybody was talking. With every South Carolina, there was a Georgia right behind it. Does that make sense? So everybody would say, oh, after we beat South Carolina, game day's going to be here. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just thinking that these kids bought into that bullshit. I'm going to say it. They bought into it. They got their asses kicked, and now we've got to come back and just show everybody that we're not as bad as the team that was out there on Saturday. If we come out against Georgia and they just unload on us, which after what we did Saturday, there's a good chance. I don't see it happening, but then this could be a long season. However, and I'm not saying we're going to win this game, but I do think we're going to play a lot better. I think this has got our attention in a good way. I don't think the offensive line is as bad as it showed. We don't just have young guys on the team. There's some veterans. We've got some guys that have been around for 6 years on the offensive line. They just don't suddenly forget how to play football.
Were fans booing?
Fans started to boo. Yeah, they started to get a little restless probably toward the end of probably closer to halftime. Well, don't you think, Bro Dog? Third quarter, definitely. And it was just, but you know what anymore? These kids get paid. I'll boo.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I've always said, as soon as they got started paying these kids, seven figures. Hell yeah, you can boo. You can say whatever you want to.
I agree. I mean,
They're not amateurs. They're pros.
Yeah.
There's no more student athletes. These are pros.
But I do have a rumor.
Okay. It's our first rumor of the
First rumor of the year, yeah. So I'm hearing our boy Stoops might not be putting in the work that he was years ago. He might be out faluting on the town a little too much,
Pulling a Billy Clyde. Oh boy. All right.
So we need to get that shored up. But yeah, overall just disgusting, and I'm sick. But you know what? Let's come out here against George and hope to keep it close.
All right. The word for today is reality. Okay. Let's keep it real. Your 5-star quarterback had 30 yards passing and minus 29 yards rushing. He had 1 yard. And this is supposed to be the guy. The guy, and you said it in the first couple, we're only going to go as far as our quarterback takes us.
You're right.
Okay. That's reality. Your pro wide receiver, Brown.
Barian Brown.
How many catches did he have?
0.
He wasn't even. There was a couple plays he looked like he didn't even try. There was a couple. I saw a couple people calling him out big time on Twitter for just not running his routes, not going 100%. This is reality, though. UK's now lost 8 out of their last 10 SEC home games. It's the worst loss they've had against an unranked team since 2015 against Tennessee. And this is also now the worst stretch they've had since November of 2012 to September 2015. They got Georgia coming in at 7:30 this Saturday. They're getting, what, 24?
24.
This is reality.
Do you have you got anything else? You got anything else on the back of that page?
I could.
You got anything else here?
I could.
We know this. It's sickening.
I don't know. I don't think UK is going to win this game this week.
You know what reality is?
What's reality?
Reality is we've beat Louisville the last 5 years. That's reality, Jack.
Well, see, now you're looking in your back view mirror. You got to be looking forward. Who cares? That was 5 years. The last 5 years.
I'm just giving you reality.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You can tell me all this.
Good luck against Georgia.
Bullshit,
Good luck.
I just can't wait till y'all play somebody halfway decent, and I can take a look at your team and come up with all this reality.
Good luck
Thank you.
this
Thank
Saturday.
you.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Please. Can we talk about something else?
All right, let's look at these games for this week.
Reality.
Friday, 8 o'clock, we got Zona at Kansas State. Kansas State's 14th in the country. Zona's number 20. K-State's 7.5, 58.5. Any opinion? This schedule's really not that good this week.
The slate of games, this week is not very good. And just think about this. We didn't talk about this. That game day was going to come to Lexington. They already come out and said it now, and they're in South Carolina this week. I mean, that's even worse. Good Lord. I mean, it's terrible. Kansas State and Zona. K-State's got that good quarterback. Zone, I really no opinion there.
Yeah, I think K-State's going to win. Being at home, there's no really, I can see it going either way. Maybe K-State by 7, something like that.
I will say this, though. So far, the first week or two, the West Coast teams have played pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Shit,
they've
Cal
been
beat Auburn last week.
right. Yeah, you know, what I'm saying?
ACC beating SEC.
Cal beat Auburn. Who beat Mississippi State?
Arizona State.
Arizona, another Pac. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't even know who the hell's in the Pac-10, the Pac-12.
There is no Pac-12 now.
There's no Pac. Yeah, I mean, so what conference is Zone in now?
Zone is in the Big 12. So this is an actual conference game between Zone and Kansas
Okay,
State.
so Zone is in the Big 12 now.
All right, we got Bama at Wisconsin Saturday at noon. Bama's fourth in the country. They're a 15.5-point favorite. 50.5 is the over/under. We think.
I think as long as Bama's bus don't break down, they will run all over Wisconsin. I think it might be close early, but I don't know. I don't think Wisconsin really has a whole lot, you know. And I mean, Bama started off slow last week. They were in a dogfight for a little while with South Florida, but they finally got their stuff together. Like I said, maybe play a little on Wisconsin early, and then hammer Bama in the second half.
Yep, I like Bama cover. Not a big lean or anything, but I like Bama. LSU at South Carolina noon on Saturday. LSU 7-50. Game day.
Yeah.
Who you like?
No shit.
LSU -7.
This is actually one of my. I think LSU. I think South Carolina. You talk about reality. I think South Carolina comes back to reality this week. I think LSU kind of gets together after getting beat in week 1. I look for LSU to roll double digits here. Lean LSU.
I like LSU, but I don't like them to cover. I think they win, though. 12:45, we got...
I think it really hurts. I'll tell you what, if that South Carolina game was a 7 o'clock game that night, that would be crazy. I would give South Carolina more of a shot as opposed to a noon game because it gets crazy at night.
Yep. All right, Boston College at Mizzou. Mizzou's 6th in the country. Well, I know.
I don't know if I'm more shocked that they're 6th in the country or Boston College is ranked 24.
I know. SEC's got 6 out of the top 7 teams ranked this week.
And you know what? We have to play 3 of those.
Yep. It's called reality, pal. BC's catching 17 at Mizzou. I like Mizzou to cover. Mizzou's good at home. BC, what is BC? What have they done? They beat Florida State. So what? So did Georgia Tech.
We'll definitely get a little bit of a pulse here on the Eagles. I mean, that quarterback's pretty good for them, but I'm with you. Just an opinion, Mizzou.
All right, 3:30. We got A&M going to Florida. A&M's -4.5, 46.5.
I don't see.
Florida's got a new quarterback. They got the freshman going.
Yeah,
he's got nothing to lose. I think he's better than the other kid, the Mertz kid.
Probably is. And but here's the thing: is like I don't even know how damn good A&M is. You know what I'm saying? To me, this is one of those games you just sit back and watch, and then you get to know a little bit about. Is Florida any good at all? We'll see.
I like A&M to win, not to cover. That's just no lean, no nothing. I got a couple leans, but not any of the big games.
Right.
Then we got the Civil War at 3:30. Oregon at Oregon State.
That's early this year, eh?
Well, yeah. It used to be the last game, but now they're in different conferences, and so they're lucky they're even playing.
What
which
conference
I'm glad
is Oregon
they are.
in now? The Big Ten?
Yes, Oregon's in the Big Ten. Oregon State. I don't even know if they're in the Pac-2. them in Washington State. I don't think they're in a conference. So, Oregon's 16.5 and 50. Oregon has not looked good the last couple weeks. They got lucky to beat Boise, and then the first week they played some Idaho, and that was a pretty close game. They're playing at Oregon State. I like Oregon State to cover. I think Oregon wins, but 16.5.
I agree with you.
Is a lot.
I agree with you. Rivalry game. I like the guys at home catching the points all day.
And then at 6:30, we got number 5 Ole Miss going at Wake Forest. Ole Miss is 23.5, 63.5.
And those guys are damn near averaging almost 60 points a game down there in Ole Miss right now.
Wake Forest
firing on all cylinders.
Wake Forest defense is terrible. They gave up about 35 to Virginia last week. I could see that going over 63.5. Maybe Ole Miss doing it themselves.
Yeah, that's what I would. I have no opinion on the spread whatsoever, but I do like the over in that game.
All right. You got any locks this week? Anything you've been looking at?
Anything in the college? I did have one lean I said on LSU. I'm coming back with a lean. I'll take it to Tulane plus the 13 against Oklahoma. Oklahoma has not looked that good either this year. Tulane lost last week in a close one to K-State, and Mr. Summerall, who could be.
Are we already talking about possible new coaches for next year?
I'm just saying.
You didn't say it, but that's kind of, I think, where you were going.
I'm just saying he's an up and coming coach. I think Tulane keeps it within 13, and I mean, call me crazy.
Where are they playing? You know? Do you know?
Call
where
me.
they're playing?
They're playing at Oklahoma. Call me crazy. For a value play, you need to take the Kentucky Wildcats plus 24.
I gave UK a lean last week, and it was and what am I doing? Like, my friends were like, "Are you an idiot? I'm never leaning UK again. There's no way."
I hope you don't. You're the one that has. It's all your fault because you leaned on it.
They only scored 6 points against
What?
South Carolina. How many?
No lean this week. I'm giving the Cats a lean again. Here's the reason being. Prior to that game, the spread was going to be Georgia's going to be about an 18-point favorite. Okay, we come out and look like dog doo-doo, and now we're catching 24. And I look for us to rebound, refocus. I think we're going to have a more better focus than we would prior. Take the Cats plus the 24 on the rebound.
Who's playing quarterback for you all?
Vandergrift. Hey, we're going to get a little bit more time. Listen,
your
we're not done.
seven-figure quarterback who you benched in the second game.
Well, you know what? Maybe sometimes he needs a reality check too.
Who is your else backup? The kid that went to Rutgers?
Yes.
Gavin somebody?
Yeah,
Gavin Wimsatt?
Yes.
Gavin Wimsatt.
Yeah. So we're going to be fine. So that's my opinion.
Wimsatt can't throw the ball.
I'll
He can
stick
do
it
his
to
run. So, all right. I'm going to give you a lean.
Give me one.
You know, if we did this yesterday, it would have been a lot different. But I love Minnesota. They are now minus 16.5. They were 14.5 when I bet them. They got Nevada.
You're still leaning at 16 though?
Oh, they're going to beat the dog piss out of them.
Okay.
Minnesota is going to run all over Nevada. Nevada's played 3 weeks in a row.
Row the boat.
They're 1-2. Nevada, they are going to get run over.
Okay.
Easy win right there for Minnesota. Yeah.
Not an unbuckle though?
No, it's just a lean.
Strong lean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a little.
14.5 would have been.
Come on, give me a little something. If you got a lean, you got a lean back.
14.5.
There you go. Lean back. There you go.
You got one? You want me to just keep going?
No, those I gave you my three leans: LSU, Tulane, and Kentucky.
Real quick, my man talking about Northern Illinois last week. It's all over Northern Illinois, telling you why to take them. Shit, they straight up beat them.
They did.
And like I said, Notre Dame's quarterback already hurt his labrum, so he's going to play. But nice pick.
Thank you.
That was big.
That was the only thing I did good last week. So, but I'm glad you brought that up. I appreciate you pointing that out.
Well, I got to be positive a little bit towards you.
Thank you.
I can't just crush you all day.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
You'll have to do this by yourself because I don't show up anymore.
I like the over.
Reality, Jimbo's not here.
I had a dream that it was almost like the whole Jim Rome, Jim Everett.
Yeah.
I was afraid you were like gonna come at me.
Well, the show's not over with yet. It's not over with yet.
You're right. I got more bullets. In the
I
holster.
know. I'm sure you do.
We haven't talked about NFL yet.
know.
All right, my second lean is over in the Houston Rice game. It's 44 now. I bet at 42.5. That's going way over. Their defenses are terrible.
You just don't like their defenses
They're terrible. Terrible. Rice especially.
The Chinamen.
All right, enough college. Let's go to NFL.
I got 3 picks.
Yeah. Oh, and
Talk
let's
to
give a
us, bro.
shout out to the Bro Dog, by the way. We finally let him on the show last week to give out a couple picks. What's he do? Nothing but locks. What you got, Bro Dog?
Alabama -16. Wisconsin's terrible. South Carolina to win straight up against LSU.
You
like
think Beamer's just going to stay on a roll?
Yes. And Missouri is going to kill Boston College. Absolute kill Boston College.
Well, thank you, Bro Dog. We appreciate your insight as always.
All right, we're going to start off. I said when I picked the under 10.5 Bengals, I said the first 4 games
We're key.
very key. They got to go 3-1. Got to. What do? They lose to the damn Patriots. So they're 0-1, and they're going at KC next week. What happened to your Bengals? Talk to me.
Bad luck. It was bad luck.
They couldn't get anything going.
It was terrible luck, man. The ball just did not bounce our way. We couldn't get any, like you said, we couldn't get anything going. I mean, it just was. And here's the thing: Cincinnati has been slow go the past few years. Anyhow, I'm not worried at all about. As a matter of fact,
You're going to start out 0-2.
I know I look for a big bounce back here.
Against KC?
Yes, big. We always play good in Arrowhead. I think we're probably going to win that game, honestly, outright.
Yeah, but are you going to beat the officials too?
Well, I know
Kansas City gets every goddamn call.
I know they love him, but
It's like playing at Rupp.
Yeah, it was just. That was just another kick in the balls too. Good Lord, they just didn't have any hype to them hardly at all. Now granted, we were out without one of our better wide receivers, but even Chase played, but he was only targeted 6 times. I don't know. I just that last whole week, I just want to put behind me. What'd you tell me to do? Keep looking forward.
Turn the page.
Keep looking forward. But I do. I'm not. Put it this way: with UK, I'm hitting the panic button. Okay, the panic button is hit.
Yeah.
The Bengals, not so much yet.
Okay.
We're gonna be fine there.
All right. What about your Will Levis Tennessee Titans? Up 17-3 at half, and they lose 24-17. One of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life.
Bad beat city is what that was. You were up 17-3. In some cases, you were catching 4.5 points, so that's 21.5 to 3. Going midway through the third quarter, and then all of a sudden that debacle. Yeah, that was bad, man. And you know what? That's the same dumb shit that Will would do in college too. You know what I'm saying? He's got that big arm, and sometimes he just, you know what I say about quarterbacks with big arms? They think they can get it thrown in tight spots all the time.
Dallas smashed the Browns.
Huh.
That wasn't even close.
My unbuckle. Yeah, there it is. I throw my belt to our fans in the first week, and that's what you know what happened? They just got smacked in the mouth with my belt. I apologize for that.
Deshaun Watson was trying to help one of the linemen up in like the second quarter.
Did you say Massage Watson?
Yeah, and he tried to help up his lineman, and the lineman put his
hand back?
Yeah, like screw you, don't touch me.
Well, that's not good when you're offensive lineman.
It was the second quarter of the first game of the year. It's terrible.
Poor Rocco. That's Rocco's.
Oh, that's right.
That's Rocco's team, man. Oh, and you know what? Normally I could give get on the line and give you some shit texting, but my team's played so bad. I didn't want none of that.
You better
abuse,
sit this one out.
I didn't want
boy.
none of that abuse, Rocco.
Danny Dimes once again looked like Danny Pennies. He's terrible. Giants are terrible.
Giants. Hey, you need to bet against the Giants every week and the Panthers every week.
Yeah, they are.
I think
bad
those are going to
teams.
be. I think those are going to be the two teams again. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's see. This week, I got 2 locks I like.
Who you like, baby?
Well, if you watched the KC Baltimore game last week, you got to take KC -5.5 versus the Bengals.
No,
You got to.
no.
I mean,
We
it's
need to have
14 or
okay.
18 on
Here's
11.
Here's what
The
we're gonna do.
refs,
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's
We're
what
not
we're
going to
gonna
let them.
Yes. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna you and I. We're gonna think of a side bet.
This isn't the one you want, pal.
No, this is the one. Oh, the one I don't want. I want this one, baby.
Why don't we wait until you play like the Panthers week 4? Or
No, I don't need to wait for that. So you're gonna give me 5. Let's think of something. That way we could do it on air.
I'll give you 5.5.
5.5.
That's the line.
What do you think? What do you think, bro? Dog? What kind of a bet can we come up with here? What do you
Steak
think?
dinner or
No. This has got to be.
I was
something.
thinking Clay would have to wear something Kentucky. Jimbo's got to wear
That's
something
not
Louisville.
happening. No.
Absolutely.
For a podcast.
No.
Scared.
I'm
Scared. You are scared.
I'm not scared at all.
You're so confident. You got
I'm
Mahomes
not
and
wearing.
the refs.
I'm not wearing anything from Afghanistan on my body. There's no way. I'm not. No.
Can we do? Okay. How about this? Let's say you can't. If I cover, you can't shave for a month.
Okay.
Okay. Now you just got to think of something for me.
We'll figure something out. We'll talk about. Let me think about it. For
You
a
can.
second.
I'll let you dress me for the next podcast.
All right. Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
Deal. All right. We got. Yeah. Who they, baby?
All right.
Who
You
they?
got a lock?
We gonna watch this game together?
No.
Huh?
I got to go out. I got to go.
Oh, you're gonna be out of town.
I
I
got to go on
forgot.
a retreat.
Cousin's retreat. I forgot.
Spiritual
I
retreat.
forgot.
All right. So KC's my.
Oh,
my
I'm
lock.
so fired up for that
Who
game now.
do you like?
You're gonna look like Forrest Gump. Who are my locks in the? Okay, my locks in the NFL this week are the Raiders +10, catchy 10, playing Baltimore again. Baltimore wins the game. 10's quite a bit.
That's a lot of points.
Minshew, I mean, that number's starting to trend now, so get on it early. Obviously, the Bengals, I like the +6. You're giving me 5.5. I'll still take the 5.5. I look for a big bounce back there. I'm 0-1 on my unbuckles. And I don't throw these unbuckles out just because.
Okay.
I'm not gonna throw an unbuckle out every week. But I do have another one. Houston -6 against the Bears. I think the Bears, I mean, they got lucky and won last week, but they're going to go on the road. First time on the road for the rookie quarterback. I look for him to get abused. I think Houston wins this game by at least 2 touchdowns.
That's a good.
Unbuckle
Smart. That's smart.
on the Texans.
My second one, I like Philly against Atlanta. Philly's given 6.5. Atlanta didn't look any good last week. Their field goal kicker did, but other than that, I like Philly. Too many weapons. They're good.
Philly is good.
Yep.
They're a good team. Shout out to our boys up there now. Oh, Bobby King coaching the linebackers up there. 94 or 90, 96 Trinity Grant.
All right, you got anything else for me?
Man, I don't. Like I said, I'm glad this week's over. I'm still kind of numb to it, but I'll tell you, if something crazy were to happen, just say this: if they did win, if Kentucky did beat Georgia, would that be like one of the biggest upsets of all time?
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
But I mean, I know it's not.
They're
going
not.
to happen.
Georgia's not losing to their third.
But you know what? There's still a
last
chance.
year.
There's still a chance, and that's why I'll still be going down there, and I'll be down there Friday in the morning while getting ready.
All right. Shout out to our partner Pat Norris, 502-528-3600, PTP Painting. He stains decks. They power wash, do cabinets. Give him a call.
Big decks, little decks. You know what? Actually, my mom's getting ready to give him. She's gonna get ready to call you, Patrick.
Nice.
She needs some help over there. So yeah. All right, my man.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, and hopefully
we need to get this thing jacked up.
hopefully
Dude. Let's
Jimbo-
get some followers.
Hopefully Jimbo doesn't go for 3 with his teams next week.
Won't happen. Won't happen.
You all have a great week. We'll see you soon.
All right.